Hello folks, and welcome back to another Wise Game video. Today we're going to be covering Shadowlands. We're going to be going over the new legendary crafting system and also the important quest to get you started called the final pieces. I am going to be covering a lot of things in today's video from A to Z, so this should be considered a complete guide. So let's get started with Shadowlands, making your first legendary, and the quest called the final pieces. Okay, so to get this all started, we need to do the quest called the final pieces. Now, I am not going to go over in today's video all the other quests leading up to the final pieces, but I will show you a list to give you an idea if you do have one of these quests that this should be leading you now to the final piece quest line. Now, this is a quest that will automatically pop up once you actually get to this point, because I didn't do anything special. I just went through my normal campaigns and any important quests that I picked up in Erebus, and then eventually I got the final pieces. So if you're still wondering and confused why you don't have the final piece quest line yet, this list should be able to help you at least get on track. Then you could look it up on Google, Wowhead, all those kind of resources, and see exactly where you are. So feel free to pause the video during these segments so you can read the full list. Once you get the quest, the final pieces, let's get started. So what's going to be needed here is that you're going to need a Rune vessel. And then next, you're going to need 2 different missives. And then last but not least, we're going to have to do the Rune carver memory restored. But now what does this all mean? That's what we're going to go over next. A Rune vessel is basically a piece of gear that can be upgraded or turned into your legendary. And these are the only pieces of gear in the game that can be actually turned into a legendary. An easy way to tell is the description at the bottom of it, where it says an exceptional, well-crafted piece of armor worthy of being empowered by the Rune carver. And the only way of getting these that I know of in the game is through professions. So yes, you do have to rely on other players to make these for you if you do not have the professions yourself. So you would need the correct profession for your class. So if you're somebody who wears cloth, you're going to need those type of pieces. And also a tailor to make them, as we see right here. So as we see here, even jewel crafters are needed when it comes to making certain rune vessels. Because you don't want to just get any rune vessel. We're going to show you why later on in today's video. So now, saying that players do make these, that means we could buy them in the auction house. Very simple. So off to the auction house I go, and I'm going to see what kind of vessels they have for me. Now, I am playing my warrior, so of course I need plate. So going by this list right here, these are the pieces that we need for the class that we play. So for me, I need Shadowghast. I'm going to type that in, Shadow G, and these are the results. And we can see that there's quite a few of them here on the auction house. But now this is where things can get a little tricky and confusing, because you want to make sure that you buy the proper rune vessel. And the reason why there's all different prices and stuff is because some of these are already an upgrade. So when the person sold them, or they posted them in the auction house, they already upgraded them to say rank 2, rank 3, and the top peak level is rank 4, which comes out to about 232 item level. And rank 1 starts off at 190 item level. Now, when I said that picking the proper piece for what you're going after in the game, I'm going to show you why. The Rune carver powers do not go on any piece of gear. They will only work with the particular rune vessel listed here. So the one that I'm after, that I did end up getting, is called Unhinged. And we could see by looking at this that it only works on wrist or hands. So if you went to buy, say, a pair of pants, or something like that in the game, obviously this is not going to work along with that piece of gear or rune vessel. So that's why this is very important, because you don't want to blow your gold on a piece that you can't really use. And I will show you more about this later on in today's video. Okay, so now we got our rune vessel. So we got the number one step done now. Now let's get into missives. There are 4 missives in the game. There's critical strike, there's haste, there's mastery, and there's versatility. And again, for all of this to work correctly, you cannot use 2 of the same missives on the same legendary. So you just can't put on 2 missives of versatility. It's going to be 2 separate, different missives. So now to get missives, Inscriptionist makes them. So again, you could get these at the auction house, as we see right here. So if we just type in missives, we're going to see that all 4 populate. Just buy the 2 that you need. And again, these are going to be additional stats that's going to be added to your final legendary piece. Once these are added to your legendary, there is no change in it. So these become a permanent part of that legendary. Man, we are doing awesome so far. Okay, so now we got 2 parts done of the quest. All that's left for us to do now is the last part, which is Rune Carver Memory Restored. And this is not an item that we can buy or anything like that. This is an actual part of the quest that we actually have to do. Actually, guys, I just want to show you this really quick. This is what the missives look like when they're in your bags, just so you know. Okay, so to start working on the last piece of this quest is we're going to need a memory. There is all kinds of different memories within the game. Now this page that we're looking at right here is just part of the list that they actually have. So I'm going to put in the description panel of today's video the link to this page. And they even have it broken down per class, which is really good. So these are some of the different memories that you could acquire within the game. And we could see that the source and the locations of them, it's going to let you know where they are all over the place. So we could even get some of these at the PvP honor vendor. Some of these will even drop in Torghast. And then of course raids, dungeons, and all the above. So if you are involved in endgame activities like raiding, doing mythics, and also doing PvP, you may want to see and find out what's the best one for you. Which the page I'm going to have the link to should be able to help you with that also. This is what's going to kick in the quest when we go to the Rune Carver, which is also kind of associated with your legendary power. And I also want to mention too that some weeks there is a world boss out in Maldraxxus, and he does drop also one of these memories. So that's another quick way of getting, say, your first memory. So now once you've gotten your memory, now it's time to go on to the next step, which we need to go to the maw, go through the portal, and then enter Torghast, as we see right here on the map. And then as we also see, up ahead of me is the portal. That's going to take you to the Rune Carver. Now again, if that portal is still locked for you, then you're missing one of the quests before the final pieces. So check this list to see if any one of these quests is in your quest log, and then continue with that quest, which will unlock the portal leading to the Rune Carver. Now once we have all the parts of the quest, we now want to come and see the Rune Carver to kick it all in now. So just click on your memory in your bags, and this is all going to take place, and you're pretty much now going to complete the quest, the final pieces. Along with the achievement, it's coming back to me. We're also going to notice, if you look at the very bottom right of my screen, that you can now view the Rune Carver powers in the adventure guide. And this is the menu of all the different powers specific to your class, which is very handy because it's going to let you know which pieces of gear that it works on and where you could go and get this power. I got really lucky when I got mine last night. It's the only dungeon I ever ran. I did it once and I got unhinged, so I'm happy. Now, the currency needed to make a legendary and to also upgrade them is soul ash, which is going to be collected now in Torghast. And you're also going to get this quest right here, where you need 1250 soul ash to complete this quest. The good news is that you still get to keep the soul ash from this quest. Next up, we see a list of how much soul ash you could actually accumulate each week in Torghast. So with all 8 layers now being totally accessible, you can accumulate and collect the total of 1140 soul ash per week. Now, as we see looking at this list, we see that layer 1 actually gives you the most soul ash, 120 per week. And the higher you go with layers, the less soul ash it gives you. The reason for this is because the higher layers will give you other better rewards too in the game, like even memories. So again, if you do all the layers, you will get 1140 soul ash per week. Now here's the amount of soul ash needed dependent on the item level of your rune vessel. So we could see if you have an item level 1 of 190, it's going to cost you 1250 soul ash. If yours is item level 210, it's going to be 2000 soul ash, so on and so forth. So now the last thing to do is to make our legendary. By clicking on the center square slot, it's going to open up any vessels you have in your bags. So in my case, I want to go with unhinged, so I have to use the wrists, or the arm guards, which will then put it in the center square. Now we're going to notice that the round slot to the left now has a green plus sign. We're going to then click on that, which is now going to open up this list and show you the powers you have that's in your bags that's made to go on this vessel. So in my case, unhinged. Just like that. Now next we're going to notice the square to the top right with the plus sign again. This is where we're going to place one of our missives. So any missives that you have in your bag at this time is going to light up in this list. And I'm sure it doesn't matter which one of the 2 missives you place in each one of these slots. Now we're going to notice at the bottom right square lit up with the plus sign, and now we're going to place our last missive inside of that one. So now we see we have our 1250 soul ash, and then we have our rune vessel placed, we have our power, and we have our 2 missives. Now all that's left is to hit create, and there we go. We now just created our first legendary. Next, we're going to go over upgrading a legendary. So now we're going to click on him again, and we're going to use the bottom option. I'd like to upgrade my legendary. Then you're going to get this menu to appear. You're going to click on the center, and then any legendary you have in your inventory is going to show up here. You're going to place that now in the center box to set this all up. But now we're going to see at the bottom that it says in red that I need a higher item level. So when we were at the auction house earlier buying our rune vessel, we seen that they had different levels of rune vessels that you could buy. So they had rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, and then rank 4. If you have the gold, you do want to buy the highest rank. Because basically, what I have to do with mine, because mine's only rank 1, because I didn't know all this when I bought mine. I only thought that we needed soul ash. So if I wanted to go up to rank 2 with my piece, I would have to go back now, get a rank 2, and put it in that bottom small square, and then I could upgrade it. Providing that I also have the amount of soul ash. But hey, you live and you learn. So to upgrade, again, you need the next rank up vessel, and it doesn't have to be in order. You could just buy a rank 3 and just throw that in there. And then you would just have to go one more rank if you want to get rank 4 with the upgrade system. So, but if I had the gold, I would have just bought the highest rank one, rank 4, if I knew all this. So now let's go over a few facts. You can only, at the time that I made this video, you can only equip one legendary at a time on your character. But you could also still make other legendaries and then just switch them in and out as you need them. Some believe that when they come out with future patches that they may open it up now where we could wear more than one legendary. So making a few of these will probably always be a good option. Now when it comes to your legendary upgrades also, the stats and the item level will grow along with your higher rank. But the power ability remains the same. And that's about it, folks. That's how the legendary system right now at the time of this video works for Shadowlands, and also the quest called The Final Pieces. We know that Blizzard has been very notorious lately of coming out with these fixes and changes without us even realizing it until we actually try something. But seeing I just crafted my legendary last night, I feel that the information that I shared with you guys is 100% accurate at the time of this video. If they make any important changes, I will notate that in the comment section down below. So this was a pretty long video, but we covered a lot of information. I think after watching today's video, you should not be scratching your head anymore, wondering how the final piece quest line works, and also how to make your legendaries. As always, thanks for watching Wise Gamer. Feel free to sub up for more future videos coming your way, and comment down below because as always, we love to hear from you. And until then, you guys have yourself a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.